The following is a list of xenomorphs encountered by Weyland-yutani officials in the Bioweapons Division. Any information pertaining to these creatures is highly confidential. Anyone caught discussing said information will face severe disciplinary action and contract termination. The runner xenomorph is a quadrupedal species of xenomorph encountered by the inmates of Clarina in 2017-9. This creature was birthed from either a bovine or canine host. It displayed incredible dexterity and speed, but lacked any kind of intellect or intelligence to build a hive of its own. However, many Weyland-yutani officials and experts theorized that the creature was merely designated to be a guardian or sentinel for Lieutenant Ellen Ripley, who at the time was carrying the queen embryo. This variant of xenomorph does leave us with an interesting question. Does the host determine the intellect of the xenomorph? Does a human-born xenomorph have a higher intellect than, say, something born from an animal? We do not know currently if that is the case, but further research would be incredibly beneficial. The alien kin was a permutation and bioengineered project by Dr. Ernest Kleist. The creature was designed as a weapon to counteract the alien queen, and lacked a lot of its finesse and intellect, but made up for it in brute force. The project itself, Project Chimera, however, was a disaster. Due to corporate espionage, the specimen itself escaped its confines and rampaged through the base, killing a majority of the staff, including Kleist himself. A majority of Kleist's notes and records were destroyed. However, if Weyland-yutani could secure some of Kleist's prior research, it would be invaluable to the Bioweapons Division. The Praetorian cast of Xenomorph has perplexed the Bioweapons Division. We are not sure how this creature spawned. There are two theories to mind. One, that this creature is a juvenile queen, birthed from a special egg that's been exposed to a very potent mixture of royal jelly. This creature is born to be a younger queen. The other theory is that a standard warrior caste is exposed to said royal jelly after it has become fully developed. We're still not sure what the process is to making a Praetorian, but we are incredibly interested to find out how this creature is adapted and born. The Praetorian lacks the agility or wall crawling ability of other standard xenomorph castes, but it makes up for this in its hardened chitin armor. This armor is incredibly dense and incredibly hard to penetrate, even with weapons such as pulse rifles and smart guns. A standard tactic we would recommend would be using incinerator units against a Praetorian. The Red Queen Mother. This mutated matriarch was encountered by Daniel Grant, the pharmaceutical billionaire who, along with a group of colonial marines, journeyed to the alien homeworld in order to harvest royal jelly. It's believed after Ellen Ripley killed the homeworld's original Queen Mother, this caused a split in her hive, resulting in this mutation to spawn. While Daniel Grant and the Marines' mission to harvest the royal jelly was successful, it did result in the destruction of the mutant Red Queen. This is unfortunate, as capturing a Queen Mother like this would ensure Weyland-yutani would be light years ahead of its competitors in any bioweapons division. The Pred Alien, a species of xenomorph that seems to have spawned from the elusive hunter race known as the Predators, has popped up in a number of locations in our charted systems, including Rushi and BG-386. However, due to some archival footage we have located from both the AWLF files and the Stargazer archives, we have theorized that one may have turned up in the town of Gunnison in the early 21st century. This creature shares the traits of its host, having both dreadlocks and a set of mandibles. It also seems to have enhanced strength, much like the Predators, and in some cases seems to have a distinct desire to remove the victim's head and spinal column. We're still unsure about this trait, but it does seem to be conducive to the Predator race's affinity for taking trophies. After interviewing a young Marine corporal by the name of Harrison, who combated one of the Pred aliens, We suggest you exercise extreme caution and use heavy weapons such as smart guns and a Sadar to take down the Pred alien. If you or any family member has access to a specimen of a Xenomorph, Weyland-Yutani's Bioweapons Division will give you a substantial monetary reward for access to the creature. Remember, any information pertaining to these creatures is incredibly confidential, and any disclosure of said information may cause you to forfeit any shares or reward.